Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here for tonight's city council meeting. We love looking out there and seeing a lot of people here. Thank you for your participation in our government. With that, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:30. Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. City Secretary, we have a quorum this evening with all members of council being present, except for Councilmember Portillo, who is ill. Proof of notice of meeting, please.
Meeting was posted by 2 p.m. on July 29th, 2026.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so the next section is public comments. If there's somebody here to make a public comment, you'll come up to the podium, state your name, your ward. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Remember, council cannot respond to you during this section. Are there any public comments?
Mayor, there are no public comments this evening.
Okay. All right, and there are no public hearings this evening. Moving on to public presentations, there are no presentations and recognitions. However, we do have proclamations this evening. So if I can have Randy and anybody else who is here with you this evening to receive this proclamation for 811, come on up. Okay, whereas each year the underground utility infrastructure is jeopardized by unintentional damage by those who fail to call 811 to have utility lines located and marked prior to digging, an undesired injury or possible death are potential results. And whereas a joint group of the Gulf Coast region's utility industry partners have voluntarily come together to promote safety and the national toll-free call before you dig number 811 in an effort to reduce these threats to facilities. Designated by the FCC in 2005, 811 provides potential excavators and homeowners a simple number to reach their local one call center to request utility line locations at the intended dig site. And whereas through education of safe digging practices, excavators and homeowners can save time and money, keeping our nation safe and connected by making a simple call to 811 in advance of any digging project, waiting the required amount of time, respecting the marked lines by maintaining visual definition throughout the course of the excavation, and finally, digging with care around the marks. And whereas safe digging is a shared responsibility to know what's below, and call 811 before you dig. Now, therefore, I, Catherine Eves, Mayor of the City of Alpine, Texas, on behalf of the community, do hereby recognize August 11th, 2026 as National 811 Day and encourage excavators and homeowners throughout the city of Alpine and Brewster County to always call 811 before digging. Safe digging is no accident. A witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 4th day of August in the year 2026.
Thank you.
Okay, Jennifer, you would come on up with anybody here to represent, and also Miss Stone, if you would come on up too. For this wonderful recognition. Yeah, for somebody who's done so much. Okay. Whereas the City of Alpine Animal Shelter has been blessed by the unwavering dedication, compassion, and selfless service of Jody Stone, whose volunteer efforts have touched countless lives, both human and animal. And whereas for approximately 2 decades, Jody Stone has faithfully devoted her time and energy to supporting the operations and mission of the Alpine Animal Shelter. And whereas for many years, Jody could be found at the shelter 7 mornings a week, arriving early to assist with the important daily tasks of cleaning and caring for shelter animals, demonstrating an extraordinary level of commitment and dependability. And whereas even in recent years, she continued to serve several mornings each week, remaining a dedicated and valued member of the shelter family. And whereas through her countless hours of volunteer service, Jody has helped provide a cleaner, safer, healthier, and more welcoming environment for the animals entrusted to the shelter's care. And whereas her kindness, work ethic, and devotion have positively impacted shelter staff and volunteers, adopters, and the broader Alpine community while contributing immeasurably to the welfare of countless animals over the years. And whereas in recognition of her extraordinary contributions, the Alpine Animal Shelter has chosen to honor her lasting impact by naming its puppy room the Jody Stone Puppy Room.
Aww.
Yes. Ensuring that her legacy will continue to inspire future generations of staff, volunteers, and animal lovers. Now therefore, I, Catherine Eves, Mayor of the City of Alpine, Texas, on behalf of the community, do hereby recognize and honor Jody Stone for her extraordinary volunteer service, steadfast commitment, and countless contributions to the Alpine Animal Shelter, the animals she lovingly cared for, and the community she has faithfully served. The City of Alpine extends its sincere appreciation and best wishes to Jody and her husband, and its enduring gratitude for the lasting difference she has made in the lives of so many. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 4th day of August in the year 2026.
And then, this is our plaque that's gonna be outside. for-
Yeah.
So this one here says, presented to Jody Stone, thank you for your many years of service to the Alpine Animal Shelter. And then, this plaque that we got for our puppy room, it says in honor of 20 years of service to the Alpine Animal Services Shelter, this room has been named Jody Stone's Puppy.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, keep everything. And with that, we're gonna take a 10-minute break to have.
Take her.
I love to do that.
Yeah. You should be mayor next.
No. Better. No.
Take a chance on it.
No.
All right, be out of the way. The meeting. Okay, so we're moving on to community interest items. City Secretary, 1 minute on the clock for each member. First up, if you set 1 minute for me. I want to mention that the Alpine Business Coalition's meeting is the first Thursday of every month at 6:30, and it'll be this Thursday, August 6th at 6:30 at West Texas National Bank. Trappings of Texas is September 17th through 18th. September 24th through 26th is Sorrel Ross State University's annual rodeo. October 2nd through 3rd is the Big Bend Bluegrass Festival. October 3rd is Our Lady of Peace Fall Festival. And October 9th through 12th is the Big Bend Octane Fest. So you'll see some very cool cars coming into town during that time. All right, moving on, city manager announcements, 1 minute on the clock.
Alrighty, so the financial audits, the work on the financial audits continues. The August 1st through the 31st is the Clear Shelters Pet Adoption donation campaign continues for its 10th year. Alpine Animal Services Shelters offering half price adoptions during the entire event. And then we have the August the 8th, last day for the Spark Places of Innovation Museum of the Big Bend, 10 a.m. And this for council TML registration started today. And you know how it is with the hotels, it's a lottery system, and a lot of the closest hotels get booked. If anybody wants to go, let Clarinda know. She's making the reservations.
Right.
And this year it's in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice.
Fine.
Come on, Lucy. It's gonna.
1 minute each. Councilmember Stevens.
Nothing to add, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Escobedo. Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Martinez.
No.
And then Councilmember Portillo is ill today. All right, moving on to changes to posted agenda. Council, are there any items to be continued or withdrawn? Seeing none, council, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion? Seeing none, council, are there any action items to be added to the consent agenda? Seeing none, council, are there any time sensitive items? Seeing none, moving past time sensitive items, consent agenda, city secretary.
This evening's consent agenda consists of A, approval of June 23rd, 2026 regular meeting minutes. B, approval of the July 7th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. C, approval of the July 21st, 2026 regular meeting minutes. D, approval of the appointment of Donnie Greenway to the place first position on the Planning and Zoning Commission. E, approve order 2026-06-01, an order correcting the early voting dates and locations and names of early voting clerk for the November 3rd, 2026 order of general election. And F, approve order 2026-06-02 under amending the information on section 3, 4, and 5 for the November 3rd, 2026 special charter amendment election.
Great, may I have a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
May I have a second?
Second.
Let's vote.
Aye.
City secretary, council voted unanimously, minus Councilmember Portillo, to approve the consent agenda. Councilmember Portillo, please note, is absent due to illness. All right, there are no items removed from the consent agenda. Now we're going to move on to reports and presentations. Please note that you have 6 minutes with an additional 4 minutes for questions, comments, etc. And city manager, you have the first report and presentation up.
Okay, we have Chief James Etchison with the Alpine Volunteer Fire Department to update us.
All right, chief. You've done this a time or two, you know.
Good
Way to do
evening. How is everybody? Good. So it's been a few months. Why is this so close? Feel like I was eating the microphone. All right, I got 6 minutes, so we're gonna do a quick brief on the last 4 months. There's only a few that were calls that stood out. We had a hazmat spill that was muriatic acid at the Sul Ross University. Realized it was a few months ago, but that's how long it's been since I've been here. We had a hazmat team from El Paso come out and actually killing it up. They gave us a lot of kudos for the knowledge of the people that we had on scene, so did great on that. We had another solar farm fire just put out. We did petition to the solar farm company. NG is the name of the company, and we're gonna start charging them from now on when we go out there, because it's becoming too common. So we're
Is it every
starting,
month? Is it like every week often?
well, it's been a couple months.
Okay.
But it was pretty steady for, we had, with this one, about 5 calls out there this year. So, and we're only on month 8, so we just started month 8.
Is it the inverters?
Yes,
Yeah, so I don't know who approves inverter designs. They're not putting enough space in between them. So if you put the space in, it solves the problem. So I don't know if the county has a process for approval of those or not. It's probably something worthwhile to check out.
yeah, we'll check in on it. The inverters they have are from South Korea.
Yep.
And they're obsolete. And they have an entire warehouse full of them.
Yeah, so they put them too close together.
Yeah, they're putting them
That's
too
a
close
hot
together, and so it's overloading the system.
Yeah.
So they're looking to fix those and actually get them done later on. But the company was really welcoming to us, when I showed how much it costs to do it each time we go out there, they're like, oh yeah, we can pay that. I'm like, I'm sure you can. So, yeah, pretty good. What else? Other calls, the only one that popped into mind. We also had the vehicle accident with DPS, which we were on scene for and took care of. We didn't do much as fire. We did support the vehicle and make sure that nobody was injured. And we were able to support the vehicle that was upside down and barely hanging on. I have no grace of God that thing was holding on to that vehicle. So we supported to make sure that nobody got hurt. And other than that, everybody was very, very professional and handled the situation very well. So kudos to all law enforcement, EMS and fire on that call. And also TxDOT, because they came out and they did vehicle traffic control for us. So very, very appreciative. And then last but not least, we had an interior fire. We had a disgruntled employee at Pizza Hut. Apparently break the window and started a little fire. Started napkins on fire and ran away. So wasn't that big. They weren't a great arsonist. They didn't do very good. Other things of importance. We're almost halfway through the year. We are up to 51 calls this year, which is down by half. So I don't know if we're doing something right. People are scared to set fires or what, but we're down by half on our fire calls.
That's good.
So we'll keep that up. Other things we had going on, we had the junior firefighters went to Corpus Christi and represent Alpine and do it was basically a show and some training. Alpine led the way. We were the only city outside of Corpus Christi that showed up. So we represented, and the junior firefighters got on the news and got to do a bunch of cool stuff. So the juniors are doing really, really good.
How many do we have?
We have 4 now,
Okay.
and we're getting ready to get a 5th. So they're go-getters, I tell you. We did bring back to life our hazmat trailer, and we converted it into a rehab trailer. We hooked up a new generator to it, and it works like a charm. The air conditioner works great. So we're gonna start taking this to call so we don't overheat. So we're currently getting it repaired with some lights and some minor stuff here and there to make it street legal because the lights don't work. So we're gonna get that fixed. But other than that, we've taken it to our burn house a few times, and it's been a great asset to us. It cools everybody off really, really well, and it gets really cold inside. So
Good.
we're grateful to have that. We're also getting a new skid unit for our Attack 2 truck. We received a grant for that. We've just paid for it today. So as soon as it comes in, we're gonna go to Seminole, have it installed and bring it back. And we'll actually have 5 trucks up and running for brush fires. So, and 2 of which are gonna be brand new pumps. So we're looking good on pumps. And last but not least, our hydrants. We were able to map out all of our hydrants. We are the first county in Texas to have all of our maps on a GIS system.
Wow.
So we can bring it up on a GIS system and you know where all of our maps are, all of our hydrants are located.
That's super impressive.
And we also have them color coordinated to no pressure, low pressure, medium pressure, and high pressure. So we've got them mapped out. So kudos to us.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have really, you and your team, all the volunteers, the board have really elevated the fire department. It's something Alpine and Brewster County should be very proud of, and we're appreciative.
We're just hoping that we want to build that trust with the community again. We want the community to actually trust in our fire department. And with our fire department being as highly trained now as we are, we're probably one of the most highly trained departments aside from a professional department. And one caveat is we just had 6 more firefighters become vehicle extrication qualified. So in case we do have an accident, almost everybody on the department, I'd say shy 2 or 3 people, everybody is Tech 1 certified for vehicle extrication.
That's amazing. Councilmember Martinez?
You really have been improved in the last 2 years, and I'm so glad. This is an example for the community, so things will happen what happened 2 years ago. I wish they would have the training that you are teaching right now and improve it and encourage young people to participate and help the community, so to prevent those disasters in the community. So I really appreciate all the work you have done. And your juniors were asking for donations when the Viva Big Band with a firefighting boot.
Oh,
That is so good. They were so cute asking for donations. I don't know how much they collected.
It's like $800.
Hey.
So we send them out because they're cute and they
yeah,
bat
that's
their
the way to
eyes.
do it. Sit down, the fire.
Yeah.
They look like Puss in Boots and they're like,
Yeah, they were like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was cute. That was a good idea. So you're doing a good job.
Oh,
Thank you for all what you do.
and Councilmember Lucas, who's also a volunteer firefighter. Councilmember Escobedo?
Well, you're doing an amazing job. You're a great leader. You know, you're the one who has done so much to make the fire department excel.
I'm really lucky to have a good group of guys that are hungry and willing to do the things that nobody else wants to do. So we're very lucky.
Thank you.
You're blessed.
Councilmember
Yeah,
Stevens?
thanks, Chief, keep doing it. Thanks.
You got it.
Don't quit.
Councilmember Stevens?
We're good, I'm good.
Good, good, good.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next information, let's see. And discussion item
That's
is also
right.
city manager.
Got Jennifer Stewart here representing city manager.
Okay,
Jennifer Stewart, I'm the supervisor for Alpine Animal Services. I'm speaking today on a great partnership opportunity with PetSmart Charities. So what this partnership would include is adoption program support, adoption rewards, canine cash, grant opportunities, free supplies, dedicated support, marketing and PR support, and increased exposure. So I'm going to go over some of those and just kind of explain a little bit better what that all entails. The adoption program support. So there's access to on-site adoption events. They have 3 national adoption weekends per year. Those are in-store adoption events. In-store adoptions where we can actually bring, typically it's just the cats to the stores. You've probably been in PetSmarts before and seen them set up in there. They provide all of the stuff for the habitat, food, litter, all of those things. It's just us getting the animals there. There's promised dedicated support from the PetSmart team, a full adoption partner manual. Their policies are pretty much, following the same type of protocols that we would in shelter. So it aligns very well with us. Access to Smart Simple Adoption Partnership database and granting software, where we can keep our organization's records up to date. We're access to something called an Adoption Made Easy digital software that streamlines the pet adoptions and payment processes a little bit quicker through the on-site adoptions. Access to virtual partner summits so that we can get more education on how to better improve our adoption programs. there's no minimum number of adoptions to be part of this partnership. So we can we can participate as much as we want. So if we just want to commit to one adoption event a year, we can do that. If we just want to see how many, house a few cats at a store and see how it goes, we can do that. It's really totally up to us. They're not asking for us to do a certain amount. There are benefits to us doing more though. The adoption rewards and canine cash is an example. So for every 50 animals we adopt either on site there with a big adoption event or in-house there that we house there, we can get up to $1,000 in rewards for that 50 adoptions. Are we going to be qualified for that? Looking at my amount of adoption numbers that we have throughout the year, who knows? But it's something that we can strive for, right? Of course, we'd rather see less animals in our population that we don't have to worry about adopting out, but there is a goal there if we did happen to spring upon 50 cats and we wanted to get them adopted out or do, a very large adoption event on site with a bunch of dogs and puppies. And in these bigger towns where there are PetSmarts, they are flying out the door. I've been told that the turnaround is really good for very adoptable animals in those stores. Grant opportunities. There's a couple of opportunities that I saw on the site. One of them is mostly based around adoption growth. So it's supporting us doing those adoptions in their stores. So it would, what we would likely be qualified for is what they're calling a cohort 2 capacity building grant, which is after one adoption. We just need one adoption to be qualified for this grant. It says that this grant may support funding staff positions to get us there and staff that, marketing and advertising, volunteer or foster support incentives, event supplies, vehicle repairs, if God forbid, transport for the transports, innovative ideas and pilots for partners to try in store. Other costs associated with facility operations and in-store events. So that's a grant that we could potentially help us fund this. And right now it's not, we're not asking for a bunch of funds to fund this. It would most likely just be us driving to a place. So there is another one that hopefully we'll never have to use, but it's a disaster response grant. So this is a cash grant that's available within 90 days of a natural disaster. They provide shelter supplies purchased for distribution to the community. So if people are displaced with pets and they need supplies, they would help us with that. Veterinary care pets are impacted and they need veterinary care, they help with that cost. Minor or urgent facility or ground repair. So again, if something disastrous happened, they could potentially help us with that at the shelter. Supplemental staff and volunteer expenses. So if it's something big where we're having to house mass animals in a disaster, they could potentially supplement staff and volunteers for us. That particular grant looks like it's open all the time. The other one, there was a little bit of a window. The adoption growth one, believe it was from between September 8th to October 2nd. So it was a small little window for that one to be qualified for that. Let's see, marketing and PR support, just general basic marketing tools that they provide. They have access to this thing called Rescue Writer, which will help us build better bios for our pets so that we can advertise them a little bit better. Adoption prep toolkits, media guides for better pet promo. So I think it sounds like a great partnership. They're not asking a lot of us. They're just they want to support and encourage us to participate and adopt at their facilities. So our goal for the partnership is increase the pet exposure to more of the population, right? And then exposure of our mission, what we're doing here to potential adopters, to encourage people, even if they, live in El Paso or Midland or Odessa, maybe they really liked the experience that they had with us at an adoption event. and are actively look at us for their next adoption as well. So it builds a relationship there. Decreasing number of animals in our facility is a big one. So we have these adoption events offsite. We bring a bunch of dogs out there, and maybe, we bring 10, five get adopted. That's 5 less in our building that day. Cats too, we bring 3 cats over there. That's 3 cats less in our building that we have to pay for and care for and worry about. So, that's about all I got. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, so I was looking through it, and to me, it's a no-brainer. It doesn't look like they really require anything of us other than to make sure our shelter meets their standard,
Right.
right? And then other than the cost of fuel to get you out there and pay the employee, or I don't know, the volunteer, if you use the volunteer.
Right.
So it's a win-win for the city of Alpine.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing that they offer this.
Yeah.
And they don't require membership fees or anything like that. So I'm impressed with PetSmart as well, for
Absolutely.
what they're doing.
Absolutely. There is something similar with Petco as well that I'm looking into. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
I might be pitching you something else, but it's the same deal. They're not asked, they're there to support if we want to take as much or as little as they have all of it to offer. So
Councilmember Stevens?
Sounds like a great idea. Is there any downside at all?
no.
I couldn't find it.
It's a no-brainer then.
I looked.
I
was
could-
like, okay,
I looked,
what's-
I looked.
What's the fine print?
Yeah. Yeah, I could not
Other
find the
than
downfall.
they expect shelter cleanliness, didn't I read that or something?
Yeah.
And we already meet that, we
Totally.
exceed that,
Yeah.
so, yeah, it was nothing.
Where would you go for these adoptions?
Odessa, Midland.
Yeah, there's partnerships. I've actually talked to a store in El Paso already for this particular group. But there's stores all over. There's stores in Midland, Odessa. There's stores in San Angelo. There's, stuff that's semi close to us that wouldn't be a giant feat. And if we can get this to where we can talk a volunteer into helping us get them there, then it's really, not a ton of effort for us to just partner.
How many volunteers do you have now?
Oh, that's a great question. So there's a lot that are in and out. So we have, I want to say, probably 5 that we see them every week. We do not, they never miss a week. We have probably about 5. We probably have closer to 20 or 30 ones that just kind of throughout the year, just in and out. And then we see new faces depending on if a college student or a high school student needs to get some volunteer hours.
Right.
We get to see those people. Sometimes community service workers. So
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Councilmember Escobedo?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I was reading it, I said, wow. It's really, really good. Thank you.
thank you.
Councilmember Lucas?
My idea. Got my sport.
Councilmember Martinez?
We are so proud of you, Jennifer. You're always looking for animals and for the community, working hard. I support you 100%. So you're a very smart, hard worker woman.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I really appreciate everybody's support. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to information or discussion items. Item A, Councilmember Escobedo.
To discuss regarding the installation of a stop signs. At the intersection of South Reagan Street and East Avenue I. So this is the cemetery road. And we consistently, I don't know, for past few years, we've had people that come down there and they drive fast. It almost seems like a racetrack. I could stand there and I'm just like, if you were to even walk across, you wouldn't make it. You would not. And it doesn't matter if they're coming, if they're also going back up to their houses up there, it's the same thing. I know that I've seen people who have hit the cement wall at the cemetery
Oh.
before the turn, and that has not been very good. So it really is needed.
So you're looking at in the picture on page 55 or 70, you want to change that yield sign to a stop sign? Or you want to
Yes.
make it like a three-way stop there so that it slows people down? What are your thoughts?
It would need to be a relay, right? If I could have, Chief.
Come on up,
to the
Chief,
please.
yes. And just introduce yourself, so anybody watching.
We don't know you.
We don't know you, no, we know you, but somebody might not. who
Madam
wants to-
Mayor, City Council, citizens of Alpine, Kirk Kaufman, Chief of Police. The intersection in question is Reagan and Avenue I. And there are stop signs at Neville Haynes, go a couple of blocks, and then at Hancock and Avenue I. And then if you were to implement another stop sign, it would be one block. And then you would get to Reagan. So in between then, you actually have two streets per. And this one would be just one street and then a stop sign if it were to be implemented. We can increase our enforcement. We can put a speed trailer. I was discussing this with Captain Fierro. And we do have a smaller speed trailer that we can implement. And we can also put our, like I said, increase our patrol efforts. It seems like once the road was completed or repaired, it's become, the speeds there have gotten a little bit faster because of the road repair. But once you get past Reagan and you continue to go east, it's pretty much a thoroughfare, but that's totally something different because it would be kind of hard to enforce because the street becomes cut down the middle. And part of it is the county and part of it is the city. So I know we've implemented speed bumps. I know we have one on Avenue A. But the thing with that is if you put one, then you could have many in a lot of different areas of the city. A study would probably have to be done to see the visibility of that stop sign. But that is your decision. And if so, we'll do what we can. I don't know what the cost specifics are. But I know we've done studies in the past where we've sat there in a patrol vehicle with a radar gun and wrote down different times of the day, getting different speeds in regards to the vehicles there. But once again, you have that stop sign at Hancock, and then 2 blocks over, you'll have another one. Or I'm sorry, 1 block over compared to the other ones. So it's really up to you whether it's feasible. We can look into it, but like I said, we can increase our patrol efforts.
Councilmember Lucas?
It's 2 blocks, Chief. We have. Main Street. To Hancock, and well, I guess if you're counting just that one in between the two of them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, gotcha. Good expert, sir. So if you're advising for some kind of study for it and you have other means to potentially correct the issue that it's already funded and in our possession to do now, I'm all for
Okay, sir.
trying to check that out and see how that solves the issue.
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Martinez?
We will take your advice because you are the expertise, so we will follow you the procedures to the study, whatever your recommendation is, we will take it because that's your field. So if you said do this, we will support you because we don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. So I'm the one that put the stop sign on Avenue B, the flashing stop sign. I paid for it out of my own pocket. It didn't slow anyone down.
Yes, sir.
Then I put the speed bumps in. Then that slowed down. I'm sorry?
They ripped one up there.
Well, they ripped one up, man, but the guys, I think Eddie's guys have figured out how to get them all back down. Actually put 5 speed bumps, surprise, finally got it some out. That's what tends to slow people down. So it's a really tough issue.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, people just go screaming past. You almost want to just park someone out there to sight a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And go work it.
And usually, that will,
Yeah,
help, that type of enforcement will help,
yeah.
keep the speed down. The thing is that if we decide to put one stop sign, that it's not gonna work, because might as well just make it a 3-way.
Mhm.
And then you have a home on the other side,
Yeah.
so you'll probably need a stop sign there, so. In the end matter is going to be a 4-way, it's going to be a 4-way stop.
So can we talk to Eddie about installing some potholes? Slow down.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a lot of accidents in that area?
No, ma'am,
They
then
just,
having lived in that area in the southeast, yeah, you would see the speeders. Of course, the stop signs like Councilman Stephen said, a lot of people don't stop, it's California stop. And when they go out to wherever they live, whether it's out at Sierra Lorana or down the road there. There is a lot of traffic, especially in the morning. And in the evening when people are going back home from work. And then, of course, the major cemeteries in the city are there. I think with increased enforcement, with the elements that we have with the police department, I think we can slow it down. I think we can.
We follow your recommendation.
Yes,
Put everything there.
thank you, ma'am.
Councilmember Escobedo?
I agree. I mean, it's crazy. Before we used to get, people that would speed through, street, the one by the field. F. And then triangle, and then H, and then I. I mean, it's like, I was waiting, where are they gonna hit? Cause the turns that they would make was like in a speed race, and I'm just like, this is crazy. And I would call and they're like, what is that? When I would call dispatch, and they were like, what is that? I said, the cars that are speeding in front of right here. Cause they could literally hear them. So people are actually, and a lot of people do walk at night. And it's just, like they say, they won't walk in that night. But it doesn't mean that they didn't encounter other vehicles and where they're making breaks that they left their tire marks there. And I'm not, now with the park being there, there's more kids, there's little kids that are out there. And they play late at night. They like it, and I guess because of the coolness, which I understand, there's more people walking there. But they're walking from their houses there. I do, so it's not safe. And it gets exhausting. Cause I'm thinking, if you're gonna drive the speed limit, you're gonna get to where you're gonna get safe. The other way, I don't know. I mean, I had told him that the ranch behind me was throwing a party, and we called, or the neighbor called the police, and they went. And I don't know if they did or they almost hit one of the Alpine PD cars. They didn't see it, but those are yield signs on Chastain. And they just passed it like nothing. But they've come back, I don't know, because do call the police quite often, and they do show up. But at the same time, this doesn't stop, like in the mornings, like you said, in the evenings, and then late at night. Late at night, it's like at around 11:30 or so, and that's when the other younger guys, I guess, are out there and they speed and basically dodge cars.
I don't think there's a problem in the whole city. You should see how they drive in Gallego. Run. But it doesn't mean you have to put stops in every corner, I get you have that problem in that whole city. People is speeding.
Yes, ma'am, there's different parts of the city in it, and once again, not dogging the streets with the department, but man, once you fix the street, People get a little bit faster.
Uh-huh.
They get faster down that street.
There's something to be said for having potholes.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't got killed many dogs because they just jump outside of it. They drive fast. But like I said, we follow your advice, your expertise.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So moving on to action items. Action item A, city manager.
Approve agreement with PetSmart Adoption Partnership and City of Alpine Animal Services.
Yeah, I need a motion.
I move we approve the agreement with PetSmart Adoption Partnership in the city of Alpine as was just discussed.
I need a
I
second.
said that.
Okay. Any discussion, council? Let's vote.
I.
City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve the agreement with PetSmart Adoption Partnership and the City of Alpine Animal Services. Please note that Councilmember Portillo is absent. Moving on to action item B, city manager.
There's approved vehicle contract with CAPS funded through the high intensity drug trafficking areas.
Okay, I need a motion.
I move we approve the vehicle contract with CAPS funded through item.
Okay, I need a second.
second.
Okay, and discussion, city manager.
So the police department requests council approval for a municipal lease and option with CAPS Rent-A-Car Incorporated for lease of 2025 Chevrolet 25 HD patrol vehicle for the current fiscal year, October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. The agreement provides a cost-effective method of maintain reliable fleet vehicles with without long-term debt obligations. The city of Alpine is authorized under Texas law to enter into municipal lease agreements for operational needs. The police department requires dependable vehicles for patrol, emergency response, and daily operations. Leasing through CAPS Rent-A-Car has been a return practice that allows the department to update fleet vehicles annually while avoiding large upfront capital costs.
All right, so we have the information on page 65 of 70 and then the agreement following. Councilmember Stevens.
So is it fully funded by CLADA?
Yeah, so this is actually, they're actually using it. It's while we're working on the audit, some
Yeah.
contracts didn't get presented to council. This is one.
Yeah, but it's funded.
Yes.
I'm good. Thanks.
Councilmember Escobedo. Councilmember Lucas.
Good, Mayor.
Councilmember Martinez.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with it.
Let's vote.
I.
Aye.
City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve the vehicle contract with CAPS. And please mark that Councilmember Portillo is not here this evening due to illness. All right, moving on to executive reports. 6 minutes for each report with a 4-minute addition if needed. City mayor report, there is none this evening, so we will move on to city manager.
Okay, we're budget fiscal year 2026, 2027. We're diligently working on this with the directors. We have the water crisis in stage 4 due to a Muski's mechanical failure with one of the booster pumps that pumps to the other storage tanks. So we're continuing to work on that. And while I'm on that one, regarding the pump that has not been utilized for a few years.
Dollar pump.
Yeah, so they turned it on because they're trying to get about 100 gallons per minute out of that. And there was not enough pressure with the current motor and pump. It was between 70 and 80. And so, they need to pump the water up straight. I mean, it's almost straight uphill. So they contact no. Oh, so they need to they contacted already the pump experts, and they estimating they're gonna need about 120 PSI. So that would mean replacing the pump and the motor to be able to move that water.
So did we,
It didn't,
go ahead.
yeah, at 70 to 80, it did get it up there.
So did we go ahead and order that?
So not yet. There's Toby that works with Ingersoll is out there doing certain things out there, and then he'll advise Mike. And
Do we need bids?
I don't know how expensive the pump or the motor is gonna be yet.
Councilmember Lucas.
got an answer to the valves closed still?
No, they're still looking into that.
Cause I have like left through a question.
Yeah.
Then I know you're not.
Yeah, no, that would be Andy, Toby and Mike.
Yeah. Cause it's, if they're saying we only got 78 PSI, I don't have the numbers off the pump, so I don't know if I was reading the proper pump curve or not. But based off the pump curve that I was reading, at 1,500 feet per second, we should be able to achieve 150 feet or 150 feet of head. But I don't know where our friction loss is either. And then at 1,000 gallons a minute, it should be 170 feet of head. However, I also don't know if our line can even handle that. But based off the charts that I had also saw, we were already running it at 60 hertz, which is the max off the motor. That I was able to verify is the right one that I was looking at. It's the max. And we're only achieving like 70 something PSI. Which didn't correspond with the pump curve that I was looking at. So I don't know if I was looking at the wrong pump curve, so I was wanting to see if I could get that before we go and start looking at replacing pumps. And then also we'd had prior conversations with Andy. And he said that based off the pump curves that he was reading on those, that it should have been sufficient as well. So I just want to make sure that we
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'll get with them.
cover all of
Yeah.
our bases.
Oh, yeah. I'll get with them.
Because what's weird to me is that we're showing, increased pressure, but it was stating that we were moving like 0.002. I think it was an FPS, so we were like moving almost no water, which doesn't make any sense to me
sense at all.
whatsoever at all. But I'm not an engineer, but
No, we'll get with Toby, Andy, and I'll,
okay,
to get an update.
okay. Because it would be very nice to be able to get some water moving through this.
Through there, yeah.
Instead of these other means that we're having to go through right now.
Yeah.
A lot less expensive.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
long run.
Yeah. So right now we have the 2 water haulers and then on the emergency well. As of 4 p.m. today, they're at 300 feet deep with the pilot hole, and then they'll start drilling with a 20-inch bit tomorrow. Beautiful. Okay, good. And then the Moosehead boosters, we're hoping to get the pump this week, and now they're saying it's gonna be next week. Okay, there's that. Let's see. Okay. We had, so we applied for the WSIG grant, $10 million. We submitted the application on 7/30. We submitted with the prior audit that we just completed, and we sent them a letter with our representatives, our Senator Blanco and Senator Representative Morales, that we would attempt to finish the audit this month, and then we'll submit that this month. Then this week we had TxDOT, the Green Living Landscape Tour, which is the triangle just east of McDonald's. They're going to rehab that. And the draft agreement was presented to council maybe 2 meetings ago. Hendricks in front of the ball field and the radio station. So all that side on this side is going to be redone. And then also the downtown Holland Avenue from 3rd to 7th, Avenue E from 3rd to 7th, and then 5th from Holland to Avenue E. So there, the landscape engineers and everybody was out here. We took a tour with them. We got all our steps in, right?
Yes,
For the
we
day. But the health insurance, the pre-renewal discussions are ongoing, and I think they're coming in next week. Or we might have the information for the next council to get that. Okay. Let's see, Alpine Community Projects. Let's see, we received the $7,650 for pool furniture donated by ACP. And then the Enterprise Fleet Management has granted the annual community grant to Alpine Community Projects. That award is between $1,500 and $2,500, and it goes directly to them. And then let's see, what else do I have? Oh, so I have one more. So Dr. Reinhardt sent me some information, just a quick overview. The field design meetings, August, will be August the 4th and August the 11th. I'll send you a summary update after each meeting. We may have some planning questions that arise for the first meeting tomorrow. They're gonna run the RFP ads in the newspaper August the 20th through the 27th. We will coordinate all parts of this process. The pre-bid site meeting on August 25th. This will be an opportunity for potential vendors to inspect the site and ask questions of the project. It will be great to have a city representative on site for this meeting. Alpine ISD Board of Trustees selects vendors for the project during the week of September the 7th. And let's see. I'll try to start on-site construction by the end of September and complete the project by end of December. So one of the things that we will have to do is open up a separate account, which is going to be the escrow account. I already talked to Bill, and he said they can do that. We'll come to council just to get the authorization to open the account and then just transfer the funds. That is our part over to that, and then as they need them for the, to pay their vendors, they'll request and we send to them. That's it.
So Henry, I have a couple of questions for you. I know there's emails back and forth, but there's some clarification that's needed for the rec department. What is your direction on them scheduling pool parties and staying open for a little more during the day for aerobics and lap swim? And should we go ahead and schedule the instructors to come and teach? Because I know it's Dr. Velasco, Dr. Joey Velasco, his son, Javier Garza, who's a resident, and then two provided by Ben Telesco, who want to be lifeguards for that extended season. So what's the direction for that?
So I'll need to get with Eddie and get with Kim and get a update on what's it all gonna cost. Okay, it's not gonna be a big cost, but there are extra costs that go with that. So we can get a quick number on that. And then I can decide if it's a certain amount this. If the council wants to keep it going, we'll keep it going. But I just want to be able to coordinate with the director of that department. And that's the way I work with all the directors. I don't want to be jumping a director and going, straight to me.
So the pool passes that have been sold for September. Pool parties that have been booked. What do you recommend for that?
So if we can continue, we can continue.
And I know there was.
I always have to go back to your current budget. What did you budget for?
Yeah.
I don't have that information in front of me to be able to tell you yes or no. There's a director of that department. I need to meet with that director. Hey, give me the information. What did you budget? Because there's chemicals, there's lifeguards, there's this, that, all that expense that goes with it. Let's get a clear picture of that. And then so we can make the decision. But generally, if the council wants to continue with them, we can continue. You do have money in your let's say savings, and we can get that out. We can, if it's let's say if it's $10,000-$20,000 more with labor and chemicals, electricity, all that, then we can make a budget amendment for that at a later time.
Has the pool made a profit so far?
So we don't have P&L for the pool, so the money just goes into the general fund.
So when will we know pool standpoint? Because we are August 4th, next time we meet is August 18th. How far are we up to the pool operating?
How far to make that decision, or?
Yeah, so right now, when's it supposed to close?
Usually in the past, it would close when school would start.
I don't know, kids in school, so.
Yeah, that's next
August
week.
11.
Sorry,
The school start August 11.
August 11th. So
But we voted to extend it to September, right?
Yeah.
And we were voting, it was, in the budget, it was included for the lifeguards to that extension, or it was included all that
Yeah, I don't think, so. Since you did the budget last year, so you probably budget the same as your history. I- And it's not a big expense, but I would still like to see, the director, get your math together. We'll help with whoever's in finance here, get that information and make a decision. Okay, this is what it is. This is what we go. It's not gonna be a break the bank kind of thing, but still, we need to see that.
So I'm just thinking through timing for us. Because we're not gonna have a meeting before the pool, before.
No, so if the general direction is keep it open, then we'll go ahead and keep it open. But we still wanna see, okay, what's the cost, and we can do that, and it's not gonna take a long time for us to do that. And that, I'll take the direction, and then we'll get with Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, say, okay, you know what? Okay, we'll keep it open. We don't wanna make it difficult, it's just, I'm getting emails that Eddie's not copied in there. And Eddie is the director of that department. I wanna respect that, as it is with the water and the gas and everybody. And so we need to, sit down together, it's an internal thing, and then decide, okay, what are we gonna do?
So we as council voted to extend it, correct? And so the part you're working through is the money to go do it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
So
So
we need to make a budget amendment, because we're gonna bring budget amendments later on, probably maybe the next meeting or September, because we haven't done any budget
Yeah.
amendments for the whole year.
Yeah.
We need to work, we could put that in there, that process.
So you have the latitude to go forward, given council's approved it
Yes,
on the basis that when you come back in the budget amendment, we're gonna say yay or nay.
correct.
Do that?
Yeah, the thing is, in between, we had the water crisis.
Oh, yeah, I know. You got a bunch of
So
stuff.
Mike and Eddie are communicating, hey, kind of being cautious about that, because we're telling other people not to fill the pools.
Yeah.
And so that's an issue that, they've kind of been managing, going through that exercise.
I think we need a day so we can tell Kim not to book more on full parties or yes,
Yeah,
or don't sell any seasonal tickets, so we need to give her that information.
so we'll bring Kim and Eddie into the meeting
Okay.
together.
That's the right direction.
Yeah.
You have to consult with Eddie to stay in that department.
Yeah.
Else? Okay. All right, anything else, Henry? Say that's all?
Yeah, that's all for
That's
the
all.
reports.
Okay, good. All right, so council member comments, Councilmember Stevens,
I've got nothing there. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Escobedo. Councilmember Lucas, Councilmember
No,
Martinez.
thank you.
All right, so. This brings us to item number 15 pursuant to chapter 551 under the Texas Government Code. The city council reserves the right to convene into executive session from time to time as deemed necessary during this meeting for any posted agenda item or to receive advice from the attorney as permitted by law. So tonight, the council is going to recess into executive session pursuant to chapter 551.071 consultation with an attorney. May I have a motion to move into executive session?
We move into executive session for consultation with our attorney.
Okay, may I have a second?
I'll say.
Any discussion? Let's vote.
Aye.
All right.
City Secretary, Council voted unanimously to move into executive session at 6:46 PM. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Potholes, potholes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It wasn't a race, but it was just right around.
Go dig 'em.
It was, so. Yeah. I leave your whole time.
Potholes, potholes.
the